Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going to get into the real nuts and bolts of the investigations into Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislane Maxwell.
Right. And we're not talking about speculation or rumors here.
No, not at all. Our mission is to really give you a clear understanding of the actual evidence, the stuff that was presented under oath to federal grand juries.
And that's a really important distinction. Our sources for this are the agents themselves, FBI, NYPD, the people who spent years building these cases.
So this is their formal testimony about the documents, the interviews, all of it.
Exactly. And, it's important to understand how a grand jury works. It's not a trial to find someone guilty.
It's about probable cause, right?
Yeah.
Is there enough evidence to even bring charges?
Precisely. And the agents were told they could present what's called hearsay evidence, which basically just means they can report what witnesses told them or what they found in a document.
It lets them weave the whole story together for the jury.
It's the only way to show the entire framework of the scheme.
Okay, so let's set the stage. The key players are Jeffrey Epstein, the financier, and Ghislane Maxwell, his associate.
Mm-hmm. And the investigation really focused in on three main properties.
You have the huge Manhattan townhouse, the estate in Palm Beach, and then the Zorro Ranch out in New Mexico.
And the investigators found one thing, a really disturbing thing, that all three of those places had in common.
A massage room.
A dedicated professional massage room in each residence.
That detail is it's the perfect place to start talking about the grooming process, how this all actually worked.
It was a very calculated mechanism, and if you look at the testimony from Witness 2, you can really see the pattern.
So her story goes back to the mid-90s. She was just a kid, about 13 or 14.
And she was in a very vulnerable position. Her father had passed away. The family was really struggling with money. She lived in Palm Beach.
She was an aspiring singer involved in the arts.
Right, and that's what took her to the Interlochen Arts Camp in Michigan in '94.
And this wasn't some random meeting.
Oh, not at all. The sources show Epstein was a major, long-standing donor to that camp. I mean, he had donated an entire scholarship lodge.
So he had access and credibility. He meets her at a picnic table, asks for her number.
Mm-hmm. And that's where the grooming really starts. Law enforcement has a formal definition for this.
What are the steps?
You find a vulnerability, a need, then you gain trust, sometimes even the parents' trust. You offer gifts, promises, money.
And once that trust is there,
then the relationship turns sexual, and the abuser or an accomplice works to make it all seem normal.
which is where Maxwell's role becomes so important. She was key to that normalization, wasn't she?
Absolutely. Witness 2 said Maxwell acted like a cool older sister. When she was uncomfortable, Maxwell would say things like, "Oh, this is just what grown-ups do."
Undermining her instinct.
Completely. And at the same time, Epstein is building up this financial dependency.
This was way more than just small gifts, right?
Oh, yeah. He was giving her cash, paying for her voice lessons, and Witness 2's mother actually encouraged it. She had taught her daughter that women have to do what they're told.
Wow. So that financial control was being reinforced at home.
And it just got deeper. When Witness 2 moved to New York for her senior year of high school.
Still a minor.
Still a minor, yeah, about 17. The records show Epstein was listed as the person financially responsible on her school application. He was helping pay her rent.
That's a staggering level of control.
It is. And there's this one detail from an early trip to New York. Epstein and Maxwell took her shopping and bought her white cotton underwear. She said it was like little girls' underwear.
So you have the financial power, the psychological manipulation, and then these very specific objectifying acts.
It all demonstrates the intent long before the abuse escalated in the Manhattan house.
And that financial side, that entanglement, it leads us right to how they talked about all this. It was called work.
Exactly. It was a transaction. And Witness 1's story from Palm Beach really lays that out.
She started even younger, around 2002.
She was 14, dropped out of high school. Someone told her she could make money if she massaged this rich guy. That's how it started.
And then she became a recruiter herself. And the testimony shows Epstein had these incredibly specific preferences.
Very specific and very rigid. He liked young, petite, natural girls.
Which everyone understood to mean under 18.
Yes. Weren't completely developed, is how she put it. And if she brought someone who didn't fit, he'd get angry. He'd say, "Come on, you know what I like."
The phrase itself is a demand. And there was a racial bias, too.
A very explicit one. The testimony states he did not like dark-skinned or black girls. It was a system.
And there's a financial incentive to keep that system going.
Witness 1 got $300 for bringing a new girl, and another $300 for every session she attended with that girl.
So she had a direct reason to keep finding new victims.
Exactly. She said she stopped when she was about 17 because it just got too hard to find the younger girls he demanded.
This is where the investigation really shines, because it moves from memory to hard documents. Let's talk about Witness 3.
Right. She started around 14 in 2001, troubled home life, needed money for drugs.
And she confirms the payment system. $300 cash, always in crisp $100 bills.
And the police found proof. During the 2005 search of the Palm Beach house, they recovered message pads.
And what was on them?
The appointments were literally called work. You see notes like, she has a female for Mr. J.E., or just, name what's to work.
But the real smoking gun was connecting the phone logs to bank records. I mean, in a case like this, how important is that kind of concrete link?
It is absolutely pivotal because, you know, a defense attorney can always question someone's memory of a traumatic event.
But you can't really argue with a bank statement.
You can't. And they found a direct link, a phone call, placed from one of Epstein's numbers to Witness 3's phone on January 3rd, 2005. The very next day, January 4th, a cash deposit shows up in her bank account. About $150, including one of those crisp $100 bills.
A call? Then the very next day, a deposit of the money she described.
It grounds the memory in forensic fact. It shows a coordinated, scheduled, paid-for criminal enterprise.
So let's talk about the physical spaces where this was happening. The victims' descriptions of the houses were incredibly detailed.
Eerily so. Witness 1 described the Manhattan Library as something out of Beauty and the Beast. Both she and Witness 3 recalled sketches and paintings of naked women on the walls of the massage rooms.
And Witness 3 described the Palm Beach massage room.
Yeah, as part of a master bathroom with a couch and a closet where the massage table was actually kept.
The early searches, back in 2005, they confirmed the basics, right? Massage tables, sex toys.
They did, but the FBI search of the Manhattan townhouse in 2019, that's when they found much more.
What stood out from that search?
Well, the room was intentionally dark. Dark draperies. They found oils, a massager, and then they found handcuffs. And a whip.
Handcuffs and a whip.
Yeah. And the walls were lined with nude photos of young women, and in a room right next door, they found a schoolgirl outfit.
So the objects of control were right there in the designated workspace.
Along with other things. Butt plugs, a dildo. It paints a very clear picture of what was happening in that room.
And we also have testimony from someone who worked there, the house manager in Palm Beach.
Right. He was there in the 90s and early 2000s, and he said things changed dramatically when Maxwell arrived.
How so?
Everything became secretive. He wasn't allowed to interact with guests anymore, and he testified that he cleaned that massage room, he found the sex toys, and he specifically saw a basket of them kept in Ghislane Maxwell's own closet.
So that points to direct knowledge, direct control.
It certainly does. He also mentioned that he was replaced in 2002 by someone much younger, which suggests they were tightening security.
Which brings us directly to Maxwell's role and her later denials.
Her primary function seems to have been participation and normalization.
What does that mean in practice? What did she do?
Multiple witnesses said she was actively involved. In group sessions, she would direct the girls, sometimes touch them, grab their breasts. She'd say things like, "Don't be frigid."
There was also an incident at the New Mexico ranch, correct?
Yeah. Witness 5 testified that Maxwell herself gave her a massage, pulled down the sheet to expose her chest, and massaged her breast area.
So that's direct physical action, not just coordination.
Exactly. And witnesses also said that after the sessions, Maxwell would be there waiting.
Asking questions.
Very specific questions. How was it? Did you have fun? Did he like it? It's all about control. One witness remembered Maxwell saying, "Thank God you're here. If it's not you or someone else, it falls to me."
That is a chilling statement.
It suggests total awareness of what was required.
So you have all of this testimony from multiple victims, and then in 2016, Maxwell gives a sworn deposition in a civil case.
And the contrast is just, it's staggering. It's a masterclass in denial.
Okay, so let's walk through it. She's asked about the entire scheme, about recruiting underage girls for massages.
And her answer, under oath, is, "I don't know what you are talking about."
A complete denial of the core enterprise. What about the physical evidence? the sex toys found by police,
She testified she was not aware of them.
which directly contradicts the police reports and the house manager who saw them in her closet.
Directly.
And what about giving massages herself? The incident at the ranch.
When asked if she'd ever given anyone a massage, she said, "I have not given anyone a massage." Another direct contradiction of witness testimony.
And the biggest one of all her knowledge of Epstein's activities with minors.
Yes, she testified she wasn't aware he was having sexual activities with anyone other than herself and a specific blonde and brunette.
Which just erases the dozens of victims who testified.
It's a fundamental denial of everything the investigation uncovered.
So when you pull it all together, the trauma, the records, the physical evidence, and then these sworn denials, what's the final picture?
The final picture is a criminal enterprise that was so meticulous with its own logistics that it was ultimately undone by its own records.
The cold facts backed up the human stories.
Every time. Flight manifests listing JE, GM, and female, deposit slips that matched the payment amounts, and then the items found in the houses, the handcuffs, the whip, the schoolgirl outfit. It all corroborates what the victims said.
And the sources also show the devastating human cost.
Oh, absolutely. Witness 3 has received treatment for depression, anxiety, PTSD, schizophrenia. Witness 2 has dedicated her life to helping others, running a nonprofit for trauma and addiction survivors.
It's just a lifetime of impact.
A lifetime. And some witnesses said the abuse happened so often for so long that the memories all run together.
As we wrap up this deep dive, it's just so clear how these powerful abusers use the very tools of wealth and privacy, private jets, financial documents, even legal depositions, to facilitate and deny everything.
For decades, it shows you the fortress that law enforcement had to break through.
And that really leads to our final thought for you to consider. When all those private records, the tools meant to guarantee secrecy for the wealthy, end up becoming the most important evidence for public accountability. What does that tell us about the fragility of that kind of power when it finally comes up against a truly thorough investigation?
It's a crucial question. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.